the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to put the mouthpiece together. Now the mouthpiece is the part that we played whenever I tried you out earlier in the year. And it is this piece right here. So go ahead and pull this out of your case. Some of you will notice, that's all right. Some of you will notice that you have what's called a mouthpiece cover. That's this. This is just to protect the mouthpiece, and it's going to go back in your case. Okay. Yep, the cap stays in the case. That's just to protect the mouthpiece.
Just the cap. So, there you go.
Okay, I want you to look at this and see what you have here. We've got this metal part, which the technical term for it is ligature. We can call it a reed holder, okay, because it holds the reed on the mouthpiece. And I want you to take a look at it. You can even take it off and see how this works. The ligature screws are going to face towards the right. Notice what happens if I turn it upside down and I face it towards the left. It doesn't. Okay, you can try that on your own too and just see what happens. So we want to face them to the right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen them up a little bit. And the way you do that is you turn them towards you. Now don't loosen them so much that the screws come off. Work.
I sent that to slide it off. Was it already? Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, then I want you to grab one of these from your case. This is called a reed. Now we want to be really super careful with these reeds because they break really easily. You're probably going to break a couple of them in the course of the next couple of weeks while you're getting used to this. If you do break them, know that I sell them, and they are $1.50 per reed. So if you ever need another one, you can get one from me. And I want you to take it out of the case. And then we're going to practice putting it back in the case. Put it back in just the same way you took it out. And I want you to notice that the tip goes in first. Yeah, there you go. If you have one like this, tip goes in first for you. Here's something different. Just going to go like that. Everybody kind of has something different.
Yeah, my case is different.
Yeah, good job.
My case is different.
Your case is a little different. Yeah, everybody's is just slightly different. Okay. These play better whenever they're wet. Now this is one of my favorite parts because I'm a reed player. Okay, I play saxophone, and I think these things taste fantastic. They taste like dry macaroni. We're gonna try to get it wet. We're gonna put the tip of it in our mouth like this.
Now leave it there for a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit more. There you go. The shaped part goes in, the thin part. And the thick part, you don't have to worry about.
They make flavored reeds. Never ever buy a flavored reed. They sound horrible, and the flavor wears off after one day.
Take the thin part of it, then the thick, no, the, yeah.
Okay. You can keep yours in your mouth while I show you this next part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ligature off, and notice that this mouthpiece has a flat side right here, and the reed also has a flat side. In fact, this one says reed on the back of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the two flat sides like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really careful that I don't break the reed when I do this. I'm going to face the screws to the right. And I'm going to slip it over like this. Okay, go ahead and try that.
Take your ligature out first. All the way out. All the way out. All the way. Don't try to smash it anymore.
This is the hardest part about playing a clarinet, right here. Playing this piece of cake, putting it together, that takes a little bit of time.
Okay, now, do you want to
Yeah. Make sure that the flat side, there you go. Hit the round side, touch it. Okay, as you're doing this, I want you to notice, look up here at my clarinet. I have this reed holder down below the little right there. And also, hairline of black showing over the top of that. Okay. I have this reed holder down past you right there on the mouthpiece. That. Slide it over. And whenever you get it adjusted, notice how I have just a hairline of black over the top of that? And then you're going to tighten the screws so that the reed doesn't move. This is the most important part about putting the clarinet together, because if you don't put the reed on correctly, you're going to have a hard time making noise on it. So you want to make sure that it's lined up really straight, just a hairline of black showing. If you have more than a hairline of black showing, then you have it too low and you need to adjust it. If you can't see black, it's too high, you adjust it. All right, I'm going to look and see how everybody did. If you want to start down on that end, I'll start on this end. Perfect. Nice job.
Good, I'm really scared.
Now you're just a little bit high because I can't see black around these people. So,
So then we're
do, just need to go to the lower it. See, I can see a little bit black.
So just make sure you're in the middle of it. You see how your reed tip is in the, we want it to be this thing, and I don't know.
Now it's way too high, you can see it right there, right? So, two things, I want this to be a little bit lower, so I'm going to loosen it. See how I got it over there?
This is, I think it was like a haircut, so.
Just down a little bit.
Now we have my cousin come back. So do you see how you're gonna figure out that?
Yeah, see, that looks like, that's what you want.
Thank you.
About the rest of it? Okay, give me a second.
Oh, yeah, I said that too.
It's like, yeah, she just wanted
They do. One of them's a little bit longer. Okay, next. Does everybody have a little tube of cork grease? It looks like this. Kind of looks like chapstick, but it's not. Smells interesting. It smells like mint. Okay. This is especially important for those of you that have a brand new clarinet. And it's important for everybody, but those of you that have brand new clarinet, it's going to be a little hard to put it together right at first because the corks are brand new. And the more you put it together, the easier it's going to get. This, the reason that we put this on there is to slide the pieces together real easily. So, watch what I do here. I've got a little bit of grease right there, and I'm going to smear it on the cork. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to have Kleenex too. So I'll give it to you when you're done to wash your hands off with. You're just going to smear it around like that. Okay? I want you to do that on each one of your corks. For you, you're going to have to get some in your finger and just wipe it on.
Just go like this. All the way around. Probably need to get a little more.
Some of you have some extra stuff in your case, and cleaning cloths and stuff like that. I want to show you how to use those later on in the week. I'm doing on all of them. Why are you doing that? Oh. When you're done, go ahead and use that Kleenex to get that off your fingers. Kleenex wet. That kid wants that zebra stripe case on it, so.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Grandma did it for him.
Oh.
Doing a pretty good job here. Now, the more that you do this, the quicker you're gonna get at it. You're gonna get to where you can do it in just a few seconds. In fact, it's gonna take us the entire hour to learn how to put this thing together. But you're gonna get to where you can just do it in about a minute by Wednesday, all right? Put it back in the case. Is that your last one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll show you how to use it later. All right. Looks like we're all finishing up here. Do you need this? Yeah, there you go. Take that from me when you're done. Okay, so we're gonna put this thing together. So we got different parts of our clarinet, and we're gonna start from the bottom up. This part's called the bell. Kind of looks like a bell. So pull out the bell, and then what we're gonna do is grab the longest piece. The longest piece. Okay, before you try putting this together, I'm gonna give you a tip here. We want to try to grab it in a way that we're not bending any of the keys or rods on here. Because if I just grab it in a random way like this and shove really hard, I'm gonna bend stuff up. So what I'm gonna do is, you notice that there's this thumb rest right here. I'm going to hook it over my hand like that. And then my finger's gonna wrap around it and they're gonna go on these two buttons right here. So I'm holding like this. Yeah, that's it now. Here. There you go. Okay, now what we're going to do, and it's going to be a little difficult right at first for those of you that have a new instrument, it'll get easier with time as the cork gets worn in. But we're going to take it and we're going to twist and push. I'm just going to go on like that. Just put it in all the way. Yeah, be careful with where you're grabbing it. You don't want to bend those rods. Okay. By the end of camp, those of you that are having problems getting the bell on, it will be a lot easier. Because it will just take a few times putting these together before it gets pretty easy. You can run. Right at first, you might have to have your parents help you put these things together. Push a little harder.
Just twist it while you're pushing out.
Does anybody need another Kleenex to get the excess cork grease off of their clarinet?
You're so close.
My cork grease is kind of swishing out right here. Anybody need Kleenex? Okay. Here you Okay, next, we're gonna grab the other long piece. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the clarinet down by the bell with my right hand, like this. And I'm gonna take this piece in my left hand. All of these little buttons that look like this are gonna be faced downward. And yes, we're gonna, that needs to be flipped around. We're gonna connect this little rod right here, this little rod right here, that rod, this one is underneath all those keys. There, like this. And they line up together, just like that.
Push that in.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to push it on your
Twist, twist.
I'll hold it.
See how that lines up here? Okay. Did she show you that those line up like that?
Not yet.
That's right. You'll also notice that whenever they're in line, all of these holes line up. Okay.
Makes everything work so. Did you get yours?
You'll notice that
Did you?
these are in line with each other. These holes are in line with each other. Okay, next. The barrel. The barrel will only go on one way. If I try to put it on upside down, it's just not going to fit. The big end goes on first. And again, as you're doing this, twist, push.
It's just really, it's gonna get really easy by the. Yeah, and then if you want to.
All right, next I'm going to show you that there's actually two different ways to put this mouthpiece on, and you can take your pick whichever way you like. So go ahead and pick up your mouthpiece. Okay, way number one would be to just go ahead right now and put it on there like that. So go ahead and do that. It just goes in. And then I'll tell you why in a moment. I don't really like that way. Some of you are seeing why already. The problem is these ligature screws are kind of in the way, aren't they? You don't really have a good way to grab onto it. Okay, let me show you option two. This is the way that I do it, and I would recommend it this way. This would be to not put the reed on first, okay? Leave it off and do it last, so once you get the clarinet together, you put it on the chair between your legs like this, and then go ahead and put the reed on after the mouthpiece is on already. That makes it a whole lot easier to put that mouthpiece on because then the ligature's not in the way. And also then it's just right here, you can see it. Yeah. So that's the way I do it. Take your pick though. Like I said, this is the hardest part about playing the clarinet. The rest of it's a piece of cake. I'll have you doing that too. Here, let's do that. You're pretty tight. It's going to take a little bit of time before it
So this part,
starts going on a little bit. So that's somebody at home can buy one of them. Okay. With a hammer. The alignment on this is like this. The reed is right in line with this little piece right here. back of the clarinet. You have your ligature on backwards. The screws should be on the side of the reed. And before you get too far, this is backwards. The reed. See this? No, the reed's fine. Take a look up here. This reed is in line with this thing. You got it. You got to turn it backwards.
Oh, careful, see how that already broke into there.
Yeah, you're gonna break them in these first couple of times.
Try not to touch the top of your reed if you can. So that part's really thin. Keep it out there.
Yeah.
It'll still work.
As you're putting these on, you want to try to keep your fingers away from the tip of the reed. Never shove down like this, it'll break. So what I always do, if you want to look up here, is I get it loose and I use my thumbs on the side like this to adjust it to where I want it. You can kind of work it around like that as long as the ligature's loose. Put it in the right spot, and then you're going to tighten it down. I'm going to look and see that you got your reed in the right spot again. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Just want to see the, you don't want to see that.
That'll work in the future, and you can keep it there for now.
Okay.
In the future, you want it to be a little bit higher. You got too much black showing. So for what we're doing, that'll be fine. And we'll be careful not to touch the top of it.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay, next. You'll notice on the back side of the clarinet here that we have this thumb hook that we were talking about earlier when we put it together. I'm going to show you what you do here. It's with your right hand. Your right hand thumb is going to go underneath it like this. Now we want to make sure we're not holding onto it like this, and we want to make sure we're not putting our thumb too far over like that. It goes right above our thumbnail. That's important, because that's going to put our fingers in the right spot. Okay? You don't want to do this either, okay? It's not like that.
Toby, come to the office, please. Toby, come to the office, please.
Then, this is the only time I'm ever going to have you do this, because it's not really the way that you hold your clarinet, but for right now, what I'm going to have you do is take your left hand, you're going to grab a hold of the barrel like this. Now, whenever you sit on your chair, what you're going to do is you're going to scoot forward to the front of your chair. And if your feet aren't touching the ground, scooting forward will help your feet to touch the ground. We want to keep our back straight. It's kind of like we're sitting, like we're standing from the waist up. Okay, so we don't want to be like this. We want to be sitting up straight. And we want to keep our back off the chair. Then the clarinet's going to go between the knees like this. And we're going to go ahead and roll our bottom lip over our bottom teeth like we did when we tried it out. So we're going to put the clarinet in our mouth on top of that bottom lip. We're going to put our top teeth on top of it. We're going to close our mouth around it. Now you want to bring yours down between your lips, okay? And give it a shot. If it squeaks, that means you have too much in your mouth. You want to pull it out a little bit. Put a little bit more in your mouth. There you go. Good. Put yours a little farther in your mouth. Everybody stop for just a second. If this is happening, that means that you haven't put enough in your mouth, okay? Or you're biting too hard with your bottom teeth. So I'd put a little bit more in your mouth. If this happens, you've got too much in your mouth. So try to find that right spot. If it's not making noise, push in. If you're squeaking, pull out. Try it. I want to make sure that when you go home, you know how to put it together again. So we're going to practice that on our own here for a little bit of time. In a moment, we're going to take it apart, we're going to put it back in the case, but I do want to tell you that there's only one right way to put it back in the case, and you can look at the little indentations on the case to see how the keys go back in. If you put it in backwards or incorrect, then when you go to shut it, it won't shut all the way. Don't force it shut. What you need to do is readjust everything, put it back in the right spot, then close it. Any questions to this point? Okay. I want you to take it apart. You might start with the reed first and put it back in its reed holder.
So this is your
Reed holder then.
read over. So, right, yeah, there you go. Slide that, I can slide them right away, you know, I'll put it in that little piece. Because it's going to break it in here. Right. Remember how yours was in? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Higher up.
It will get much easier to put these together and take them apart with time. Your assignment for this lesson is simply to go home and practice putting it together and taking it apart. And then, whenever you come to your lesson on Wednesday, I want you to be able to put it together before class even starts. And then we're going to learn how to play it.
Other way.
Now remember that the mouthpiece goes back inside the mouthpiece holder. And when you put the mouthpiece back inside the mouthpiece holder, I'll show you how to do that. It goes back in like this. Everybody look up here for just a moment. See how that works? There's a little window in that mouthpiece holder.
Good.
We always want to take our reeds off of our mouthpiece when we're done playing. Never leave your reed on the mouthpiece and then put it up like that, because your reed will get moldy
There will be good.
and stuff will grow in there, including worms. I've seen that before. And also, it warps your reed, so it makes it hard to play. Kind of word in a little bit. You can use more quarters on that one.
It will.
Hand that quarter.
You were right there.
You guys are a quiet group. Not used to getting up this early?
Part of this.
You get up early every morning? What time do you get up? All summer? Gotcha. Okay, here's what you got.
Yeah, you got that right.
Wow, you're fast. Did we have any problems taking it to work?
And then you'll just need to put Puerto Rican in this time. Same, yeah, same thing.
If I didn't have to come in and teach every day, I'd probably stay in bed till noon. That's why I schedule stuff at 8 o'clock. That forces me to get out of bed. Sleeping is the best. That's pretty well what summer's for, sleep.
Putting like this, will be learn how to do it.
do you say?
Pretty much all the years, I don't have to get to.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll actually play next time. Before you can play, you have to know how to put it together.
Your right hand thumb. Just twist it back and forth. You try.
Anybody doing anything exciting this summer?
Yeah.
All right,
What do you
let's
say? Camping, where are you gonna camp at?
watch these, you don't want to drive.
Don't know, I'm just gonna do it. Do you use a camper or do you use a tent? Don't know. I like camping in a tent. Where to? Where's that at?
I like doing the camping thing, like I
Not the tent.
I just don't like that.
If I had it my way, I'd just go somewhere for a week, stay in a tent, cook all my food over a fire, hike. That's what you like to do?
I like to hike. I like all the Indiana City parts of it. I like it.
As long as you can go to a hotel. We get it? Wrap it up like that.
You try.
Let's go here.
Nice man, who's gonna practice?
Tell you what,
Got your music system.
let's get rid of this. It's a neck strap. I'll pull it up. You don't get that there.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure you know how to do this on your own, so I'm going to try my hardest not to say anything. I want you to put it together. I want you to play that note that we just played a minute ago while we were grabbing the barrel, and then you can take it apart, and then it'll be time to go. I'm going to watch. I'll help you if you need it, but otherwise I'm going to try to stop. You'll want to do that on the ground so that you don't drop anything. You get along great, don't you? No. Here, let's put this together on the ground.
Yay, I'm okay.
See, most of you have chosen to read on last. Wise choice. Who here has traveled the farthest?
I've been to Arizona, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, where else? Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio.
What do you do when you go to all these places?
My dad, he used to work for Ameren. Well, he still does power lines, but he used to do those lineman radios.
And you go with them?
Yeah, he'd go into sites. It was fun.
Yeah, your hand up.
I've been to Colorado. That's the farthest.
Where'd you go in Colorado?
Whiskey.
You in Aspen? Don't know. There's a lot of places to ski in Colorado.
Yeah, like me, I would go on band competitions, I just get on the bus and then I'll go, where do they bus? You just stop at 8, get on the bus and the bus is gonna take you wherever else.
I try to go to Colorado once every other year if I can. And we go to Rocky Mountain National Park.
Do you like the Smoky Mountains or just the?
Don't
Have you
like
been to the
Smoky.
Smokies?
I have.
I love this.
I really liked the Smoky Mountains until I went to the Rocky Mountains, and then I realized that the Smoky Mountains aren't really mountains.
Oh, I love the Smoky Mountains, are so beautiful.
What do you say?
This summer, this one I'm going for.
You go to Disney World or you go to Ocean?
Nice.
I have never been to that beach before. Cocoa Beach.
Cocoa.
Be careful, because if you drop that mouthpiece, it'll shatter. So you want to put it down in your piece.
Be careful during this. I put every single piece on the
Now, can you play that note that we talked about? Remember that your thumbnail is going to go like that. And oh, okay. So your assignment's just to practice putting it together in part. Perfect. You go ahead and do your part. Now, what do you think about the reed placement there? You see a hairline of black on top of it? Oh, don't press that on with your finger. Snap it. Put it down a little bit. There you go. And then those screws are going to go on top of the reed. Nice. There you go. This will be a whole lot easier by Wednesday, I guarantee you.
I can't wait till this cork gets burnt down. I can actually take it.
If it's still hard to do that by next week, let me know and I'll sand it down with some sandpaper.
I'm taking, if it doesn't do that, I'm taking my dad's grinder down.
And
Don't do that.
if it doesn't do it, bring it to me and I'll do it, okay?
That'd be better.
I discourage people from doing their own repairs.
It gets really expensive if you have to.
I had a kid once
Oh.
who wanted to clean the clarinet, which, by the way, I want to show you how to clean the clarinet later in the camp. But what they did is they put it in the dishwasher. Never put your clarinet in the dishwasher, because she came to school the next day and said, "Mr. Combs, every time I blow, bubbles come out of the holes." And I said, "What did you do with it?" And it was ruined. There was nothing we could do to fix it.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds like something I would do.
Was it a plastic one?
Yeah.
It's a little better than one. Oh man.
It's probably something I would do. Probably happen in a couple days.
I got a little too much in your mouth. And you need a little more. So, we're going to separate these a little bit. And thumbnail. Okay. And the bell goes almost just between these two. Okay, that's right. Put your tops on top of it. And you're going to bring the cord up, kind of like a little harder. That's it. Okay, now you got too much drum. Okay, come here, Christine. Oh, here's part of it. See how much the black is in the top of it?
I was checking this out. I got mad. And now, I'm checking stuff.
Get yours together?
Is that your size? There you go. Even harder. Now, as you do that, keep your cheeks in. That really sucks hard. There you go. You got it. Practice that at home.
It's this way.
Someone give you a different
Very good.
That thing's scary.
How are you guys doing over here?
I'm
You put it
good.
away already? And did you get yours? You're putting yours away
Get mine.
already? Okay, you can put yours away.
Can I put my bag in?
one. Sure you do.
You both me? Yes. Ready? Yeah.
What all are we taking on your flashcards?
Now I want you to go over and see if you can do this by yourself.
Do they get
This is just talking about what we're doing for you. So you
Now,
can
so you can
practice.
sit down and do it.
So
You can go ahead and take yours apart.
this is supposed to go on to you. So make sure you get it.
We're really trying to go take a little star.
Pull it down. Yeah. And then at home you can think about your cheeks. Okay, go ahead and take it apart.
It's Ava, right?
Yep.
Ava.
Okay. Anybody else, thank you, who hasn't paid yet, make sure you bring that next time. While you're taking it apart, I'm going to talk just a little bit about what you need to be doing at home. Between now and Wednesday when you come back, what I want you to do is practice putting it together, taking it apart, get fast at that. If you'd like to look ahead, you can. In fact, you can start looking in your book on this letter that I'm having you take home to your parents. There's a website. The website has a recap of what we just did. And you can go on there and you can watch it to get some tips if you forget anything. So, excuse me. You can also have your parents watch this and it'll give them some tips on how to put it together, how to help you practice. And if you want to get really into it, you can see what the next 4 lessons are going to be. And you can look ahead. Okay? Yeah, if you're going to take that home to your parents. You've also got an assignment sheet. And the assignment sheet shows you what you're supposed to be doing in every lesson. This one's just put together and taken apart. Are there any questions?
I don't know.
All right.